Thanks, everyone. I'm so glad to be here with you. What on this thankful Thursday, and today our topic is all about self-care, self-love, self-compassion. Everything that you do. Gosh, your heart is always so huge, so big in the work that you do, and it just makes such a huge difference. And I was really, really so overjoyed when Christy had reached out to me and said, "Hey, we're going to have this self care time and hoping you can come in and facilitate it." Got those little goodie bags together. So I hope you enjoy that. And yeah, so if you didn't get that, that's fine. And right now, maybe just grab a piece of paper and something to write with. Just have it sort of handy dandy. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to be enacting some self care because it's really important for us to take care of ourselves. Um, it's really how we can refurbish and get back a lot of the energy that we're offering to others. And in my practice, I'm a mindfulness and heart math certified trainer and coach down here in Concord, New Hampshire. And the self-care, the self-love, the self-compassion, once I started to connect to that, it really changed my whole way of how I work, how I show up in this world. And it actually has me feeling like I have more energy to give back in a way that's authentic and I'm not feeling depleted. I did experience burnout, caregiver burnout about 15 years ago. And that was really rough. It took me quite a while to come back from that. It was about 9 months until my body felt sort of okay again. So anytime I can share the heart and really the invitation, especially for women, right? We're just sort of, we're set up, we're biologically set up to keep caring. And it's not so easy to give it back to ourselves. Does anybody here find it really easy to give that self-love, self-care to yourself? Yeah, I'm seeing like a shy hand coming up, right? So thanks for that, because that honest reflection is really important for us to self-identify, going, yeah, it's okay for me to be on my list, first of all. And really, it's okay for me to be high up on my list. So we're going to start with the meditation, and then we'll do an activity with that piece of paper and whatever you have for writing utensil. We'll spend a little bit of time in some breakout groups too, because I think it's important for the community to kind of connect together. And then we'll just kind of have a share around what are some of the things that came up for you. So I'd like us to be light and lively and fun and free, and it's okay. And hopefully this feels like a good, safe space here. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if that feels right. If not, totally fine. Just create a soft haze gaze. You may even want to turn your face from the screen. If you have a window with something nice outside, it can, even when your eyes are closed, it can be nice to receive Mother Nature. I know the heart of winter just has not fully let go yet, but she's on her way. And take a moment to rest your body. Maybe rotating your shoulders back and around. It's taking a few seconds just to move in whatever way would feel good, would feel nourishing, to let go of some tension that might be right there. Take a few breaths, nice, deep, slow breaths. Definitely the invitation is feel free to have a big sigh at the end of that breath, like, oh, right? Like, oh, it's almost the end of the week. Yeah. And then, reflect and think about the past few days. Think about this week so far, maybe even just today. And think about all of the ways and all of the times that you've helped others. You can even replay some of these in your mind when you supported others, when you were helping them with whatever their need was, answering their call per se, taking action in response to their need, having their life be more well than it was beforehand, so helping to fix some of the challenges and issues and problems they've been experiencing. And this could be with a client, it could be with a family member, a friend, it could even be with a pet, right? Or maybe even a plant or something as you were taking a walk, you picked up some litter. So again, thinking about over the past few days, all the ways and times that you've shown up for others, how you've cared, how you've given from your heart. And connect to the feeling of this caring. Connect to the heart of the feeling of this caring. Connect to the desire you have for them to be well. You can imagine their face, their presence, how it was right there with them, how you want them to be strong. You want their life to be more full of ease and joy, that they have everything that they need. And notice as you help them how this made you feel. And notice how they felt with you there, with their support, your support. Maybe there was a smile on their face, a sense of relief in their eyes, the slowing of tears. You notice their shoulders dropping down, gratitude in their words. Take a moment to feel authentically this generosity and gratitude from them. And then also that generosity of giving that comes from your heart to others. And now I'd like you to make an imagination of yourself in your own mind. This part of you that authentically cares deeply for others, for their well-being. And you might give this part of you a name. You might see it in colors or shapes or something. I often call mine my goddess energy. Whatever it is for you. Notice how your face is, your body, your hair. So notice everything about this part of you that's so loving and so giving for others. Feeling the presence, the essence. Now I'd like you to imagine this part of you being with you. So instead of this other person needing help that you're offering support to, you can imagine yourself in your situation right now, in a troubling situation you've had before, is coming to your aid. I'm just sitting right next to you, putting your arm around you, sharing words of wisdom, affirmations of goodness. Imagine this part of you caring deeply for you, just as deeply as you do for others, and perhaps even more, because that's okay too. Receiving the gift of love, of the great love that you have. Just noticing how you feel. Notice how it feels to receive this love we so often give to others. Feeling perhaps like it's a big hug. And it's okay to take it in. I know sometimes it can feel difficult to take in that love. Let's open the space and allow ourselves to receive this love from ourselves. With every breath that comes in, it gets brighter, things get lighter. So the practice of self-care and love and compassion can really involve giving it to ourselves, offering it to ourselves authentically. Sometimes it comes in the quiet moments. Sometimes it comes in the scheduled moments. Sometimes it comes in moments where it feels like there's nothing else. But connecting with this part of ourselves that's filled with that part, that love, is important. So what I'm going to invite you to do right now is to take that piece of paper and whatever it is that you have to write with, and draw her or draw him, right? Or draw that energy. And it could be whatever it comes up for you. It's all yours. So I'm going to give you many minutes for this. So just taking the time. And some other things that you may want to add are words that came up, or phrases, messages, affirmations. Words of wisdom or inspiration. Just give you about another minute or so. All right. So even if you're not finished, not to worry. It's like everybody was busy. So what we're going to do now, just so we can, sort of share and see what came up for us. I think it's always can be fun and interesting to hear other people's stories. We're going to have some breakout rooms. Most of the rooms will be of 3 people. There'll be one room of 2 people. And everybody will get about 2 minutes to, show everybody, if you'd like, what you came up with. Share anything about that, any strengths, any messages, any insights. And that for that room that has 2 people, you'll have 3 minutes per person. And I'll send messages that will say, hey, time to switch. But short of, you can also self-gauge as well. Sound good? Thumbs up. All right, great. Here we go. So if you've not been in a breakout room before, just hit the blue button that comes up and go right into the room. And then it will automatically at the end bring you back as well. Have fun, everyone. So you should see a message there. Yeah.
Did you put me into one, Shanti?
I said to go into whatever. I don't know if I can just put you in for, I said everybody. It didn't do it for me. Maybe because you're the host, it won't.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. I just.
Okay. Yeah, I just did like an automatic thing.
Perfect. Great. So I think there's 2 rooms of 2 then. Or yeah, it looks like 3 rooms. It ended up doing 3 rooms of 2, which is fine.
Right.
It was so relaxing.
Yeah. Did you come up with a nice thing?
I did. Yep. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it, but I don't know.
Oh, beautiful.
So it's the earth in the middle with the stars, the moon, and then the radiation, the waves, the mountains at my head. And then at my feet, there's like a box, and it's for unconditional love, which is the foundation of all things I do. That's
right.
And then the affirmation, we lift others up by lifting ourselves first. So yeah, that's me.
Nice. That's great. I love it.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought there'd be a few more people on. I bet that they ran into meetings and stuff. So
yeah. Okay. That's all right. Yeah, sometimes those breakout rooms are.
Yeah.
We would have just put everybody in a two room. I think somebody had left too. So.
Oh, okay. I wonder who that was.
Yeah, sometimes when you say that, they're like, "No, I'm out of here," sort of thing.
Sometimes. That group though in Vermont, they're wonderful. So they do like to interact and share.
Yeah.
So
thanks for your email the other day. You prompted me to get the heck outdoors. I was literally back to back from 8:30 in the morning until 5:30 at night.
yeah.
And I had a little bit of time while I was waiting for something, and I'm like, I am going. And I came back in, and it was like, oh my gosh, I have like, look at no blush, sun blush on my face. It felt so beautiful. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 66 or some.
Yeah. Today it's not, we don't have the sun poking here. And I just feel like, I don't know, it's like the energy is just not quite there for me. I'm like, oh, I just need that sunshine. But my office, I have a really, really large window that I sit looking out. And so it's just amazing. It's the warmth of that vitamin D. I'm like, oh, it's wonderful. Wonderful.
Is it really hot in the summertime now?
So I have this great blind in that window. And if you pull it down, it really keeps like the heat of it out. So
nice.
But still provides quite a bit of light through it. So it's a very nice office. I'm spoiled. It's right outside the wellness room. So yeah.
That's great. Two more minutes. What are your plans this weekend?
Saturday, I plan to do some shopping. I haven't done any real shopping. And I was like, oh, I got some money for my birthday and money from the holidays that I still haven't even used. And so now that I'm getting back into the office, I'm like, oh, some fresh things would be nice. So I'll do that. So, and then Sunday, depending on how my hip is feeling, we wanted to hike, but I'm not sure that that'll be the reality. Trying to just lay low, but we're actually redoing a bathroom in the house. So we'll
Oh,
work
that's a
on
big
that.
project. Yeah,
It is. Yeah. Doing all the tiling work ourselves. I mean, it's a great,
that's fun. Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
love putting that together. Like it's just yesterday at the tile store, I was like a kid in a candy shop. My husband's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
slow
definitely.
down.
Yeah, that is really fun.
Oh, but
I've done pretty
there's,
much everything around my house.
yeah, have you?
Yeah.
Like I have this like Tuscan tile that's like the centerpiece to like break up the top and the bottom of the shower. My husband's like, oh my God, Christy.
Makes me happy. Your
Well, and
husband's a firefighter too,
he
right?
is, yeah,
Yeah,
he is, yeah. Yep. Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
probably
We've
good with
pretty
his
much,
hands.
yeah,
Yeah,
we've redone our house top to bottom, a couple additions, like, and we've done all the work. Like
yeah.
he'll even do
It's very
basic,
satisfying.
yeah, he'll do basic electrical, basic plumbing. And then we have firefighter friends that will come in and just finish up the work, tie things in. So, yeah.
Right, people should start dropping back in pretty soon. There we go.
Here they come.
Welcome back.
Jill and I were the two group.
Yeah, there actually ended up being 2 groups.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So you guys had a little bit more time, so that's fun.
Yes, we
Everybody
have,
else should be piling back in a second.
I was gonna say, did we lose folks? That's weird. Hmm.
Yeah, because the rooms.
Oh,
No, here they come.
here they come.
There you go. Waiting for the last second, right? So much goodness there. Yeah. So I'd love to hear how was that? What did you guys anybody want to share? What did you discover?
I'll share. Deborah and I had a we had a lovely conversation, and we found that we share guilt, the feelings of guilt. We attach that to both in how we take care of ourselves and never feeling like we give enough.
Right.
And we talked about maybe some surviving versus thriving sometimes.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that. What a wonderful awareness to have, and hearing that you're not alone in that either.
It's very interesting, Shanti. I'd like to share because the first time that I went through your heart math session, I was the same, sharing about guilt and not enough and so forth. And as I shared with you, my picture that I drew now was like the flow
Yeah,
of
you
like
can
energy.
put it up
Yeah,
to the
I don't know if
love to see
it.
everybody's.
But it's so different now that I've gone through this and have a heightened awareness of it. And it's a part of what I practice every day. So for me, I'm teaching it. So it's also that reminder, but even being in the field, you need that, you're a work in progress and you always need that reminding. But it's interesting to me because I can't quite remember the first time I did your heart math program, but coming back at it to see, that I'm now looking at it more from a different perspective. And so that was interesting. So I just thought I would share.
That's great. Thanks so much, Christy. Yeah, it's an evolution, right? It really is an evolution. Self-care, self-compassion, self-love, especially in the work that you're doing. It's there's so much need out there. So dropping into our own is definitely a practice. I'd love to see some of the pictures if anybody wants to hold it up or even describe a little bit about I don't know if anybody named them. Like I said, I named mine my goddess. And I just, whenever I'm having a rough spot, just get into my goddess mode. It really helps me.
I think it was interesting, the difference for Cami and myself with how we put the sun. For Cami, it was her energy and that she was radiating, whereas for me, it was the sun coming down towards me. So they were different, but yet we both had that symbol for energy in our pictures.
Nice. Beautiful.
Jenny, you were talking about Cami having the sun as her energy. I actually drew mine very similarly. I hate it, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. This is,
Nice.
so it's kind of behind me and trying to keep the light to me rather than the dark, which is on the outside. So
Yeah. Do what's best for you. I love that message, right? What's best for you. Yeah. It's great. You guys are awesome artists.
So I'm not going to share my picture because it's
It's beautiful.
very young kid picture, but I used the crayons that you sent me. Used my tools.
Nice. How did that feel using crayons again? Because maybe it's been a while.
Well, I have a granddaughter, so
Fortunate.
I do color.
Were there any messages that came over that you received, you know, the wisdom, the affirmations?
I can just share mine, Shanti. It's we lift others up by lifting ourselves up first, which is something that I had to really work hard to ingrain in my daily affirmations, because again, I was there with my time would be the easiest to chop out of my schedule. And so again, building it to become a behavior and a lifestyle, it takes that practice. And so that's an affirmation I lean on often when I have to remind myself that I'll be better for everybody else if I take care of me first. So that's something, actually a tattoo that I have, because it became such a big part of every day for me. So
yeah, that's great. Yeah. I'd love to hear if anybody has a good tool or technique that has helped them to move away from having that guilt around that self-care. So I think that's one of the things that we often come up with, right? Whether it's a known guilt or a secret guilt that we have, right? Does anybody have something that they've done to help them with that guilt?
This is going to sound very simplistic, so forgive me, but I think for myself, and I say this to a lot of families too, you just have to be, and this isn't exactly the right word, but just forgive yourself and let go of things and just understand that you're trying to do the best you can. And we are all just truly human beings doing the best we can. And some days are wonderful and marvelous and you're just super fabulous. And other days it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. And just to really try and almost like the wind sort of blow that, let that go, let that go, let that go. Because yeah, it can be the thing that you concentrate on instead of the positives. You can concentrate on the negatives.
Yeah.
So
yeah, very, very, very wise, right? Realizing our humanity and our shared humanity too. And that every day can be different. There's different moments and
right. And to your point, I think we're often much more forgiving of others than we are of ourselves. Like we can be that person who comes up beside somebody else, but we aren't always able to come up beside ourselves and go like, it's okay, you know, you're okay.
Yeah. So wrapping yourself in that hug, that love, you know, imagining your energy being whatever it is sitting right there and just being there with you and being in the same presence of that, which is already a part of you, can just feel nourishing without us having to take major action on that, but just draping that in. One of the things that I've found to be helpful with that guilt or that shame or that blame or their whatever is take a little piece of paper, write whatever, you know, that ucky thing is on there, maybe it's guilt, And then just make confetti out of it, burn it, put it down the toilet, recycle it, do whatever you need to, put it in a planter pot, doesn't really matter. As just a symbolic way of saying, you know what, it's okay that I don't need to hang on to that. And specifically looking at all the ways that you do fill other people's cups and putting yourself in that cup, right? Actually putting yourself in the middle of that, because you are the center of that circle that is really supporting everything and everybody else. And you have such a significant impact. And as we go day to day, sometimes it's not really easy to see that because there's so much need, but the need would be so much greater and bigger without the work that you're doing. So that can be a really helpful focus. Anybody else have anything to share before I let you kind of get back to what you were doing? I just want to thank everybody for being here. I hope you had fun playing. And, you can do that same thing that we did over and over again and do different drawings because they'll show up differently, and maybe make a collage of those or have them, in your mind sight, even taking a picture of it and having it be right there on your phone, especially if you came up with like an affirmation or something, or those wise words from your wise being. Yeah. Right.
Such a good activity. Thank you for this.
You're welcome. So happy to be here.
Yeah, we have those little blank journals. It'll be great to fill those pages with these things. That'll be great. Shanti, thank you so much for today. I appreciate you joining us for this wellness session and being a partner with Easter Seals Wellness. Your practice has definitely enriched all of us here at Easter Seals. So please, those that are joining us today, encourage staff when they get the link to give a listen. And if you yourself need a reminder, please feel free to look and listen again. There's so much out there on meditation. So, continue your practice. We're always a work in progress and always learning how we can enrich our lives. So enjoy the rest of the day, everyone. Actually, stop the recording. There we go.
Right. Take